Good morning, everyone. I'm not going to use the tiny mic all the time, but I'm just a little bit obsessed with it at the moment. I don't know what this hyperfixation is, so just let me live for like a few more videos, okay? To start off this week's reading vlog, I'm going to be starting with Ready or Not. The plan for this entire week is to just read books that are on my August TBR. If you haven't watched my August TBR videos, I had book girlies pick my TBR, or the books that I am gonna read in August. The 3 books that are on my radar for this week. First, Ready or Not. I just got the audiobook through the Libby app with my library, which I'm actually outside my library right now because I had to come drop off my library book before I headed out of town. I'm gonna be starting with that book because I have a long drive this morning. The other 2 books that are on my radar, Kindle-wise, we have Here With Me. I believe that's the title. It's the ex-boyfriend's dad age gap romance that Steph recommended me, and then Not Another Love Song. I've been going back and forth all morning whether I wanted to bring Not Another Love Song or a novel love story, and I ended up deciding on Not Another Love Song because the reviews have been better on this. They're both new releases. They both kind of came out around the same time. I've heard better reviews about this one. I haven't heard necessarily bad reviews about the other one, but I have heard a lot of people just didn't quite vibe with the novel love story. And I'm going on a girls' vacation this week. I needed a good book to read by the water. A book that's going to be addicting to read. We're starting with an audiobook this morning. We're starting with Ready or Not because, like I said, I have a long drive this morning. Most of you guys know the plan for my girls' vacation was to go to Charleston. Yeah, that got derailed because of the hurricane that is going through, so we actually don't know where we're going. We're all gonna meet at my friend's house in Tennessee, and then we are just gonna figure out a place to go from there. Let's get started on an audiobook. I don't think I'm gonna listen to it the entire time, but I would like to get through. Oh, she sent me her address. Let's see exactly how long this drive is. 6 hours and 24 minutes. Honestly, that's not as bad. That's really not that bad. Oh, I was saying I didn't want to... Wait, what the fuck is happening? Oh no! Oh no! Did I not... Oh no. I didn't apply for the audiobook. It just sent it to my library on Amazon. I swear I applied for the... Oh, okay, everybody. Change of plans. Maybe. Well, let's see if Ready or Not is available on Spotify because I accidentally applied for the regular book on the Libby app. I swear I applied for the audiobook. I've been waiting for several months. How did I not catch that? It is available on Spotify, and I do have listening hours for the month because I haven't even started an audiobook. So I'm still gonna listen to it. We're just gonna listen to it on Spotify. It's all gonna be okay. Wow, my library only lets you have 5 holds at a time, so I just wasted a hold for like 3 months on this book that I'm not even gonna read. Maybe we'll bounce back and forth, but I'm gonna be honest, I doubt it. I'm probably just gonna listen to it. Ready or Not is that book where this girl gets pregnant by a man. I'm trying to be better about not only describing books by their tropes, but I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. As you can tell, this girl gets pregnant. Shocker, but the MMC of the book is her best friend's brother who kind of like steps up to the plate and really helps her and takes care of her while she's having a little bit of a rocky relationship with her best friend. I'm assuming the rocky relationship is maybe because of this pregnancy, but it might be because of other circumstances. I actually don't know. All I know is this girl's best friend's brother really steps up, starts bringing her food. He helps her with things, and I know in the summary of the book it says, and suddenly he's kind of hot. I've heard very good things about this book, so I'm very excited.
Or you, bitch. I'm supposed to sleep with her.
We'll just all get in bed.
You guys look like mummified. Why are y'all sleeping?
Sapphic romance.
spooky.
Look at his shorts. He's so cute.
He looks so
Are
cute.
you coming right now?
Yeah.
That was fast.
What's fast?
You literally just got out here.
Yeah.
Aren't you so cute? That's what I broke my no spin challenge for.
Where'd you get them from, eBay?
Yeah,
They fit you really well. Hi guys, good morning. It is day 2 of our trip. We ended up coming to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Was this the plan? Like I said, no, but here we are and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Hey, how's it coming? How's your bug? What tropes is it?
Ex-boyfriend's dad.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
Did
I thought
you
I
like
worded
a
that wrong.
4-star?
Who's better in bed?
Who's better in bed? I don't know yet, but I think it's the dad.
Like,
She's still friends with the ex though, which is what's crazy.
crazy.
Okay, like I was saying, we're on day 2 of our trip. We're in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we've just been swimming and reading, and that's about it. That's all this week end is gonna be. We're gonna be here till Monday, and I'm trying to get all the way through this book and then all the way through Not Another Love Song. We're going in the shade. I can't see you. Oh, this is so much better. The lighting may not be as good, but it's okay. We'll be fine. 35% into Here With Me, and it's so good so far. It's a cowboy romance. It kind of gives me similar vibes as Done and Dusted in the Chestnut Spring series, like the cowboy-esque-ness of it. And the way in Done and Dusted, how that was kind of a forbidden romance between the MMC and the FMC. I can't remember the MMC's name, but I know the FMC's name was Clementine or something like that. The forbiddenness that was going on in that book with those two characters and it being cowboy at the same time, that's the same vibes as this. Cowboy romance. He is a farrier. Is that the right word? I think that's the right word. He takes care of the horse's hooves. I'm not really a horse girl, so I don't know the right lingo. He takes care of the horse's hooves and he works at her family's ranch. But they met before that. And then this man shows up and she's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Are you stalking me? Where was I going with this? Oh, the forbiddenness of it. They're 20 years apart, which is actually kind of crazy. And I was talking to Georgia and Taylor last night. If I was to get with someone or be with someone long term that was 20 years older than me, my brain would always be like, they're gonna die so fucking fast. And I know that's not fully the case. Like, I could die before them, but in my brain I'd be like, wow, this motherfucker is literally gonna die 20 years before me. The tension between them is good, and there's so much flirting. I like it more in a book and in a romance book when you genuinely get to see flirting and you don't have to assume that they've been flirting. There's kind of nothing worse than reading a romance book and it just being solely inner monologue and you have to assume the flirting is there and you don't actually get to read these juicy interactions between the characters where you're just giggling your ass off and you're feeling it in your stomach like, oh my god, they're flirting so much. The real question is do I get a book? I think I should.
You can. We drove.
I just bought this at Barnes & Noble.
What? Have y'all read it? It's my least favorite book I've ever read in my life.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I read it one time. That's the only book I've ever read it once.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I just bought it. Did I know that? I can get The Invisible Life of Betty LaRue. I'm about to get it with Libby on my Kindle.
That's a book you'd want to annotate if you ever annotate.
The way this man says, looking at Noah, I see sun rising on a cool autumn day, fallen leaves on the ground crunching when you walk on them, the scent of caramel, pecan, and pumpkin spice wafting through the air in early October. She's my favorite time of year and now she's mine. This book's gonna make my eye twitch because I'm so in love with this man. The relationship between the two main characters is literally so fucking cute. It's so fucking cute. Every time I'm reading and they're around, I'm like, yeah, oh my god. I definitely think that Georgia would read this book. She would love the age gap. I don't think Taylor would like this book, and I told that to her face. I was like, I think you'll hate it. I don't think this is the book for her. I just finished this book this morning and I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I would have given it a whole extra star had they not mentioned Taylor Swift every 2 seconds. I'm not even a Taylor Swift hater, but there's something with these romance authors nowadays that they mention Taylor Swift every fucking 2 seconds. Again, I'm not even a Taylor Swift hater. I like Taylor Swift's music. I'm not a Swiftie, but I do listen to her music and I do enjoy it for the most part. But if you're gonna mention her, I think 11 times, I lost count how many times she mentioned her. And they watched Miss Americana in this. Like, it's just, at some point it's just a little much, and I'm just getting tired of every single author and every single new romance book nowadays mentioning her every 2 seconds to like almost relate to the audience. It's annoying in my opinion. Had that not been mentioned 10 plus times, I probably would have given this book 4.5 stars because it was so fucking good. I don't think this will be everybody's cup of tea though, because the guy was double the age of the FMC. That takes a specific audience. I'm the audience. I loved it. I was like, ah, oh my god. The conflict at the end also had me a little bit nervous because it could have gone in so many different directions, and I was like really getting sick to my stomach like 3/4 of the way through, like what the fuck is about to happen. But I will say the conflict didn't actually make me sick to my stomach when it happened. Well, it probably should have. That's gonna sound bad. It just made me feel like, oh, this is crazy, but that's not what I thought was gonna happen, so thank God. I am gonna start Not Another Love Song. I don't think I'm gonna finish that on this trip necessarily, but I am hoping to get a little bit into it. I am gonna be very risky and take this by the water today, which does have me a little bit nervous because if we know how the friendship study ended up when I brought that to Austin, that book was fucking destroyed. I'm really hoping I can keep this one safer. If I ruin this one, I'm never taking a book by the water ever again. They're both in the same orchestra in Manhattan. He doesn't notice her. It takes him a year to notice her. It takes him a year. He's 6'4", hot as fuck. It takes him a year to notice that she's in the orchestra. And then when he does notice, she ends up getting first chair, and then he gets a little jelly. And then there's some sizzling tension between them. But it says that he seems to have the perfect cutting criticism about all of her technique. So he's always like, no.
We would not do well with that.
We would not do well with that. I told them I would have to punch him in the throat.
Yes.
I would respectfully not do well with that. Enemies to lovers is not an option for me because I would actually have to kill somebody. Yet despite her best efforts, Gwen can't ignore the sizzling chemistry between them. They're sexy, and he looks like Adam Driver. You know who Adam Driver is?
Oh yeah.
Adam Driver would be my hall pass, I think. Georgia wants to tell you guys about her book, but she doesn't want to be on camera. Bad Boys Bring Heaven.
Bad Boys Bring Heaven.
This man gets hit by a car. Georgia's reading next to us this morning and she's like, he's in a wheelchair. And I'm like, the fuck?
He literally says, I can't wait to deal with you when I get out of this wheelchair. She's like low-key part of the mafia, kind of, I think. And she's a dancer at his club.
She's a stripper.
And he's obsessed with her. He drives her home on his motorcycle.
He gets hit by a car on the motorcycle?
And then while she gets off to go into her house, all of a sudden, wham bam, flashing lights. He gets hit by a car, literally, and then she comes and helps take care of him. 'Cause he's in a wheelchair.
That's Bad Boys Bring Heaven. And that's what you missed on Glee.
I should partner it as a fall.
How is it so far?
A WLM romance between an interior designer and a carpenter.
You finished this book, right?
Yeah,
What'd you rate it?
5.
It's good so far.
Really good.
I'm only on page 8, but it just like starts out really fucking good.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh my god.
What?
A crab. Like a crab. And it's,
What?
there's a crab and it's literally Animal Crossing.
Where?
Like,
That was Taylor getting pinched. She would have been screaming and running all the way over there. George is making friends with a crab that pinched her ass. 57 pages into Not Another Love Song, and I'm predicting it to be 5 stars. I've been reading so many 5-star books this summer. This is actually insane, but it's so good so far. And Tay gave it 5 stars. We tend to like the same books most of the time. I cannot believe I got so far into this book yesterday when we were at the lake, or at the river. I got like 70 pages into the book. This girl at the beginning of the book, she shows up to play a performance at a wedding because they got hired last minute. And she only plays violin, and I don't remember what instrument her partner plays. I think her partner plays like piano or something. But the people only want a cellist. So they're like, can you play the cello? And she's like, I'll figure it out. So she's so musically talented she's able to play the cello throughout this wedding, but the cello that she has to play on, because she doesn't own a cello, she only owns a violin, the cello belongs to Xander Thorne, who is in the wedding party. He's a famous cellist, and he has his extra cello, like in the car or like something or whatever. It's New York, he has it around. So she plays the cello throughout this wedding and just gets by, and Xander's like, that sucked, because he was in the wedding. And she's like, I don't play the cello. Shut the fuck up. Well, she doesn't say that, but I would say that. He says, you shouldn't be playing weddings. She's not a cellist, so who gives a fuck? And she goes, I don't usually I play across from you at the Manhattan Pops. And he is like, what the fuck? He doesn't even remember her.
I have a 7-hour drive today and I have to listen to an audiobook. It's a tough life. It's a tough life, but someone's got to do it. Hey guys, let me spin you around in a circle for a second. I have 4 hours and 41 minutes left of Ready or Not. I don't remember anything that's happening. I haven't listened to it at all. I only listened to it on the drive up here. We're going to finish it on the drive back. Like I said, I have a 7-hour trip, so I think I'm going to take a little bit and listen to some music, because we haven't really been listening to my type of music for the past few days. We've been trying to collectively listen to music that we can all vibe to together, and we all have a little bit of different music tastes, so I need to listen to my music, which is basically just like villain origin story music, or funk music, or the Deftones. I don't know. I need something that's gonna make me feel like I have some adrenaline going, and then I'm gonna listen to this. Again, I don't know what the fuck is happening in this book right now. I don't know where we left off. All I know is the girl's pregnant. I don't know what's going on between the MMC and the FMC. It's a little less romance heavy than I thought it would be, or it's focusing a little less on the romance. It's very much focusing on this girl being pregnant. There is flirting between the guy and the girl. I don't even remember their names. It's been like 6 days since I've listened to it. I don't remember their names. There was flirting between them, and there was scenes together, and there is that attraction between them. And she's like, is this pregnancy hormones? Is this crush normal? But it's nothing crazy. It's really mostly been focusing on her being pregnant, which I don't know if that'll be everybody's cup of tea, but I'll let you know, because again, 4 hours and 41 minutes left, so we still got a lot to listen to.
It's an unabridged production of Ready or Not, a novel by Cara Bastone. This program was directed by Maureen Monterrubio, executive producer.
Thank God. That sounded so mean. That sounded so mean. I was getting a little hangry on that drive finishing up the book, and the town that I was planning on stopping at for lunch, because I knew where the Chipotle would be, is 2 hours away from my house, and I wanted to finish the audiobook before I got here. I just finished it, as you guys heard. The last bit of it, it was driving me a little nuts, and I was hangry, bitch. I was hangry, and then I started taking out my hangriness on the narrator, and I was like, we have got to cut the shit. We've got to cut the shit. So I turned it off for like 30 minutes, and then I've been sitting here eating my food and finishing the last 30 minutes on like 2 times speed. As an avid pregnancy trope lover, I've been recommended this book so much, because we know I love the pregnancy trope. When done right, it is so enjoyable, in my opinion. Ready or Not was the book that Eden ended up picking for me to read this month, but even if Eden didn't pick it, I've just been recommended it so much, and everybody always said listen to the audiobook, so I listened to the audiobook, and I think that if I would have read the book over listening to it, I would have despised it. But listening to it, the first 50% of it was honestly really enjoyable for me. I really liked it. The last 50% of it, not so much. There are books that I recommend to people who don't like this trope, like Out on a Limb. I'm always recommending that book to people who don't even like the pregnancy trope, and I'm like, just read it and give it a chance. Please, I'm begging, just read that book and give it a chance. Even if you don't like the pregnancy trope, you will like it. For this one, if you don't like the pregnancy trope, do not read this, because you will absolutely not like it. And the thing that I didn't really love about this book was it advertises very much a romance, but it was less, like there was romance in it, but it was less of a romance and more just an entire book of this girl getting pregnant and having to deal with getting pregnant with a different man, and the MMC is her best friend's brother, which was great. But I personally was just not in the mood to read a book that was completely about this girl's pregnancy. It wasn't my favorite book. I think I'm gonna give it 3.25 stars. Second book of this video done. I'm gonna finish Not Another Love Song tonight and well, not tonight. I'm gonna read Not Another Love Song tonight, and then I think I can finish it tomorrow. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind over this book. This is turning me into a wild animal. I'm not even kidding you. I'm going insane. The tension is crazy. There's also a few chapters from kind of his point of view. A little bit. It's in third person, so basically in his point of view. This man is obsessed with her, and it's like, ah! They walked 15 blocks to his apartment. He held her tacos for her. Stop. Can't do this. Oh my god. Oh, shut the fuck up. You're fucking joking. Like, you're joking. This Adam Driver looking ass names his instruments. Not me freaking out over the fact that she just made him laugh. And I'm over here like, his face was younger when he laughed. I need this book injected into my veins. Now. Actually. This is funny! This is fucking hilarious! He named one of his instruments Victor, and she's like, so you don't discriminate. Meaning like, he used a male name. And he responds, well, Victor doesn't go between my legs. That is fucking funny! We're at this scene. That's where I'm at. No, what the fuck? Why was that one of the best scenes I've ever read? Life-changing. Absolutely life-changing. This scene was so good, it couldn't even make me giggle. I couldn't even get giggles out. I should have been giggling, but I couldn't do anything but. Life-changing. Guys, I had to take a step away from this book for 30 minutes and put her in jail over there, because that's how freaking good the book is. Book's so good I had to put her in jail. I ended off on a very tense scene. Let's get back into it. He like can't function around her. That's what I like to see, baby. He can't function. Julie. Is Julie Soto about to be one of my new favorite authors? That's what it's seeming like. That is what it is seeming like. I'm trying to be calm about this, but I am actually losing my mind over this book, over the emotion it's making me feel, over, I just feel immersed into the story. Jail. It's gotta go to jail. No, I swear! Oh my god, you better choose wisely, Mr. Man. You better choose wisely. There is a third act breakup in this book, but it's okay. I don't know if it's technically a third act breakup. It's like, kind of vague, but I think it is. Girl, this book is so good. I should have finished this a few days ago. And this vlog is going to go out probably 3 or 4 days later than I wanted to put it out. I could have easily finished this book in an entire day, but I've been making myself read it slowly and soak it up because I know the moment I'm done reading it, I'm going to be like so pissed off that it's over. It's like Alex and Gwen, they're made for each other. Two musicians, come on. Come on. Even if there isn't that much mentioned depth or like written depth to their relationship, like that department might be a little lacking in this book to some people. I feel like some people could read this and be like, but there wasn't that much depth between them. I feel like there's so much depth unspoken between them, and a lot of it's shown through their music, and I don't know if that makes any sense or will make any sense until you read this book, but I feel the connection between them, even if they're not having explicit conversations. I just feel the depth between them. And I think they're perfect for each other. I do. Is it a little bit of just obsession on both ends? Yes. But I think it's warranted. No! No! Are you for real? As a people pleaser, I feel the stress. I feel the stress that Gwen feels. I don't know if she's technically a people pleaser, but some of her actions are screaming people pleaser, especially here towards the end. I know this is gonna be a little bit of a cheese fest at the end here. I just feel it in my bones, but I don't care. I know exactly what's gonna happen. I don't care. And that's it, folks. I do think the ending was a little, like, it felt like there could have been a little bit more, but I don't give a shit. This is one of those books where I won't accept your criticism on it, because even that criticism that I have, I actually don't give a shit about it. I actually don't care. I can overlook all of that. Steph, thank you for this wonderful book recommendation. This is genuinely one of my favorite books that I've read this year. Now I need to read Julie Soto's first book, Forget Me Not, which this one's free on Kindle Unlimited. I probably should have read this before I read this book, because the characters that are in this book make a little cameo in here, but I didn't. I did go look up their names though, so I knew who they were, because people were like, oh my god, there's a cameo of them in Not Another Love Song. I wanted to know who they were. So I looked up their names, and they make an appearance in here. This is a second chance romance, I think. I believe there's something to do with flowers and an ex-boyfriend. And that's all I know. That's it for today's vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching me read 3 of the books that some of my favorite book girlies recommended me read in the month of August. And I will see you guys next week.